What's good, people? Next in the queue, got a really good one. The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. This is an excellent book. I highly recommend it. Now, this book was in my waiting list for the library for a long time, probably about 3 months, because everybody wanted to read it, and all the copies were checked out. But I finally got my copy. It was really good. The book that you really want to read with this is also in my playlist. Go ahead and go back and check that out. It's called A New Science of Heaven by Robert Temple. These two books together really give you the essence of the rabbit hole. Now, if you have a materialistic mindset, you're going to see the world differently after you read this book. It's kind of like with calculus. When you have two different points, the normal materialistic mind, the way most people look at it, is that there is only a limited space in between these 2 points. Like if you're a carpenter and you're framing up a house, guess what? A foot is a foot. You have to have a foot, has to be exact, or guess what? Your frame's going to be off. But if you're looking at it in a deeper subatomic level, the space between these 2 points is infinite. Okay? And you really have to have an open mind and change the way you're thinking and change your outlook and how you see things to really understand this book. But the thing is, he's really good at digesting scientific inquiry and putting it down so the layman can understand it. And if you have a high school biology class or chemistry class or just straight up natural science, you can get a good grasp of this book, okay, and the concepts that he puts forward. Now, if you're taking some college courses, this will be easier for you, like basic biology, college, organic chemistry, lab work, any kinds of stuff like that. You can understand this book a lot better. But if you have just like a basic natural sciences understanding, if you're self-educated and you've got an open mind, this book is not a hard read. It's really not. Some of the concepts in here might be a little bit off when you first try to grasp them, about how the world at a subatomic level is kind of not really, it's not as solid as people think it is. And it really gets into some esoteric thought in this book. But it's really good the way he puts it together. If you only read 2 books this year, if you're not a big reader, but you want to expand your horizon and get a different grasp on some stuff and really change the way you're thinking, this is one book, The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, and go get the other one I suggested, A New Science of Heaven by Robert Temple. Those are the only 2 books you need to read this year that will change your thinking and change your outlook on how the way you see things and how the world is actually put together. Because the world most people think is out there, the world is solid. It's not as solid as you think it is. Basically what the book boils down to is that the world, the materialistic world that we see and that we don't see, because we as humans only have limited vision, and not even just vision, intuition, and feeling, is not as it's perceived. It's a interactive holographic universe. And everything is kind of at a subatomic level, is really intertwined. You get some really spooky stuff in here. This book right here is the epitome of the rabbit hole. Lots of times in this channel, I refer to the rabbit hole, the spooky tooth, the magic. This is it. This is the epitome of the rabbit hole. If you're not prepared, if you're really stuck into Abrahamic thought, and you've got that kind of closed mindset, you're going to have a difficult time with this book. But there's also a lot of spiritual concepts in this book, and you wouldn't think about it until you start getting into it. And he starts off with a scientific approach, doing just pure scientific analysis, and he goes into it slowly, and he gets into the esoteric, and he explains the esoteric through scientific analysis. and he uses all kinds of notes, footnotes, scientific studies, quoting all kinds of different scientists. You know, if you've watched any of my videos, how much it ticks me off when people don't have any evidence to back up what they're saying. Michael Talbot, I almost said Robert Temple. Michael Talbot backs it up. This book is just chock full of notes, studies, quotations, everything you need to know that he really did his homework on this book. Okay? So it's not something that's pulled out of his butt because, you know, he's the crystal balls and he's going, oh, no, that's not this book. All right? This book is made for the layman and also your scientist. And this is how you really do it. Okay? This is how you do it. This is how you write a book that deals with esoteric matters, spiritual matters, and things like psychokinesis. He kind of builds up into it. He doesn't put it out there like Kayla Ambrose did. Go back and watch my video on The Awakened Psychic by Kayla Ambrose. She starts off with a jump start. You know, she goes right out the gate. Boom, I was talking to my dead grandma or dead grandfather on my bed when, you know, one of my relatives died. He doesn't do that. All right? What he does is he builds up into the scientific inquiry and then he goes into the esoteric. Okay? And he approaches it through a scientific method. And he puts research in here. All this stuff is documented. It's not just something that he said and you got to take his word for it. This has been clinical lab studies. Okay? And some of the stuff in here, it's going to sound outlandish, okay? Like different things like, you know, astral projection, psychokinesis, telekinesis, different things like that. You know, monks who can put their hands to the wall and stuff like that. But he builds up into it and he explains to you why these things can happen. And these things that he's pointing out are documented. Lots of different stuff out there. It's really cool stuff. But it seems outlandish, but he builds you up, explains to you why it's not outlandish. And why these things that seem like supernatural are not supernatural at all. We just have a failed understanding of the world as we perceive it. All right? We're going in the wrong direction. And one of the good things about this book is that it kind of crapped on Einstein. As most of you know, I'm kind of a contrarian. If everybody else likes it, or everybody agrees, it means I gotta do the complete opposite because most people are stupid. Well, I mean, most people, you know, they're stuck in their ways. Okay, let's put it like that. I don't want to paint with too big of a brush. But even Einstein called this stuff like, what is it? Super magic or crazy magic, something like, because he couldn't explain it himself, and he even got on board with some of the principles in this book because this stuff has been going on for a while. This is dealing with, you know, different stuffs like quantum mechanics. All right, don't let that scare you. It's explained in a manner that you can easily understand it in this book. The first part of the book was better for me because of the quantum mechanics. When he gets into some of the esoteric stuff in this book, I kind of already knew this stuff. But the thing was that he documented a lot of this different stuff, and it was done by research. Not just some schmuck on the side of the road, you know, selling incense. No, this was done by scientists. And the scientists themselves in this book are like, okay, well, I've got to take this into consideration, the holographic model, the theory. Okay, because a lot of stuff, like scientific inquiry, is a theory. They're not saying it's the absolute truth. He's not saying this is the absolute truth. He's saying, hey, this is the evidence we have, and here is the hypothesis we've got. If you think it's wrong, prove me wrong. That's what good science is about. It's not like, oh, the science is proven. You're against science. You want to kill grandmas. Stuff like that. Or you're a racist or a bigot or what you call it. You know, all the different slurs that they'll throw at you if you don't agree with the consensus. And this book goes against the consensus. It goes against common understanding, what's agreed upon by the scientific community. But they're slowly coming into stuff like this. So the consensus is often wrong. And you've seen that if you've if you've watched any of my videos on the different material that I study and read and enjoy, the scientists are oftentimes completely full of crap. They have their biases. They're human. You know, they wake up in the morning, they eat breakfast, they take a crap, they shave and take a shower. You know, they're the same as just as everybody else. They're flawed. They're not, you know, they're not deities. They're not infallible. Okay, scientists are human. They have their biases, and they get things wrong. But the good thing about scientific inquiry is that you can put your stuff out there and it can be tested. The stuff he's put in his book is being tested. It has been tested, and it's coming up correct. All right, don't want to be too long in this video. Let's see. Some of the things in this book seem outlandish if you never experienced them yourself, but I have experienced some of this stuff. I am a lucid dreamer. I can't do it all the time. When I lucid dream, it's usually something like a nightmare. I'm afraid in my dream something bad's going to happen, or I'm being chased by like a werewolf or something like that. You know, a pack of dogs, wolves. And I'll wake up in my dream. I'm like, hold on a second. This isn't real. I'm dreaming. And once I realize that I'm dreaming and I'm awake in my dream, I'm conscious. It's not just subconscious. Once my conscious mind takes over and becomes a lucid dream, I do whatever I want to in my dreams. And usually it's not something good. Well, I mean, you could put two and two together. But I can do some of the stuff in this book. I'm not a psychic or anything like that. I don't have any special powers. I'm just a regular dude. But see, the thing is, I've talked to this about to other people, and I've asked them, I said, can you wake up in your dream and take control of your dream and do whatever you want to? Can you just like go and start flying and stuff and levitate? They're like, what are you talking about? So some of this matter is totally foreign to some people, to normies and conformies. But this book is made for normies and conformies. You'll love it. It's a rabbit hole for scientists. All right. What else can I say about this book? It's really good. It was worth the wait. Would I put it in my library? No, because I've already read so much stuff like this before that it's kind of redundant. I don't really need it. Would I recommend it? Hell yes. Should you have it in your library if you're not used to this kind of material? Yes, you should. You should get this book and A New Science of Heaven by Robert Temple. There's some other couple good ones out there that really it really changes your perspective. But that's it for now on this one. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. Go to the library, get yourself a copy. Go to Amazon, get yourself a copy. If it's going to go in your library, go to like Barnes & Noble. Get yourself a brand new copy. That way you can dog ear it. See, I can't dog ear library books, you know. I can't put little notes and scribble on it. That's how you read a book. You start writing notes in there, and you go back and you read a second time, a third time, and the knowledge just comes in, just right in there. But it's a library book. I'm taking it back to the library right now. Until next time, people. Peace out.